Dateline Washington, Thursday, 17 July. Boy, the tail end of this week was a real bottomless pit of scandal for the Biden-Obama gang, wasn't it? It's like they always say, when there's a really terrible story that confirms all of the suspicions of your enemies, that fully vindicates all the people you used to call crazy right-wing conspiracy theorists, bury it on a Friday. Or a Thursday, as the case may be. Sometimes these things pile up so quickly you can't fit them all into a Friday the way you would prefer to. Happens to the best of us. Oh wait, no it doesn't. Because the rest of us are not corrupt, lying fuckholes. That is you guys. So Thursday brought the news that in late 2016, after they had already lost the election, the Obama administration engaged in what Director of National Intelligence and former Democrat presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard describes as a, quote, treasonous conspiracy to manufacture intelligence in order to create the false impression that President-elect Donald Trump was a Russian intelligence asset and that Russia had directly interfered in the 2016 election by means that they never seemed to have much interest in explaining, and this was all to ensure that Trump that Mrs. Clinton defeated Mr. Trump. And there's a memo from the 8th of December 2016 that DNI Gabbard just declassified, an excerpt from that day's presidential daily brief that contains the following assessment from President Obama's own intelligence officials, quote, we assess that Russian and criminal actors did not impact recent U.S. election results by conducting malicious cyber activities against election infrastructure, end quote. And this December memo follows on from an earlier October memo, which was prior to the election, that stated, quote, we assess that Russia lacked the intent and capability to hack U.S. elections, period, end quote. So did the Biden-Obama gang listen to the assessments of their professional intelligence analysts? Of course they didn't. They buried those assessments at the bottom of the deepest trash can, then they set the trash can on fire, and they kept right on running with their 100% bullshit narrative that they damn well knew was 100% bullshit. Why? Well, because they were pissed off that Trump beat them and they wanted to destroy his presidency by any means at their disposal. You know, because they are such very patriotic Americans who have such deep and abiding respect for institutional norms. And you don't need me to tell you how many people fell so hard for the Trump-Russia narrative because they just didn't want to accept that Trump really had defeated Mrs. Clinton in an election that was supposed to be just a formality, a necessary prelude to her inevitable coronation as the first woman president. And you remember how these people used to act. If you pushed back on any aspect of their deeply held belief that Trump was a Russian intelligence asset and a bought and paid for Putin stooge, well, obviously, the only explanation for that is that you are also a stooge for Russian intelligence. So what's the weather like in Moscow today, Vladimir? Seriously, if I had a nickel for every time some crazy person said that to me, I'd have several dollars. And if you heard a strange sound in the middle of the night on Thursday, that was Senator Adam Schiff dropping off the face of the earth for at least the next several weeks.